In this box, there is a tool that is going to help me with this Miata project that's behind me. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Somebody left me a present. Chris, thank you for the knife. Okay, so I know this piece of metal makes no sense right now, but give me just a second to put it all together. Instructions. I'm a man, I don't need those. So this engine support is designed so it could hoist up your engine whenever you need to drop a subframe or you need to disconnect any of the motor mounts. Let me show you how it works. But first, allow me to introduce our Miata project. So this Miata project is getting a turbo, and right now we have removed the oil pan. Here's the oil pan right here. Now, in order to do that, we had to drop the subframe. So this is what the underneath of the vehicle looks like. And you can see I'm supporting the engine and transmission with those blocks of wood right there. And you can see there is no oil pan. So in order for me to install this back on, we have to drop the subframe again, and there will be nothing supporting the engine. So basically those blocks of wood, it's going to be supporting that engine that's going to be sitting right above our heads. And that's not a good idea. So I went ahead and I purchased this engine support. So basically this is how it works. You set this up here against these fenders. You adjust it. So this hoist is supported by the fenders right in here, just like this. And then you're able to run a chain or a strap to these hooks, and it's able to support this whole engine, everything, while you drop the subframe. So this is ideal for a situation like this. So basically now this tool is going to give me the ability to remove that subframe, and it makes it safer, so I am able to go underneath there and scrape all that RTV that it has there and install the pan. And I'll have a link in the description if it's something you would like to get. This is going to be a lifesaver for me, because most of the time when I'm doing a job like this, I use blocks. I do. I've done that. I've done jack stands underneath. I have done jacks. I do jobs like this, but this product makes everything easier, and it wasn't that expensive. I believe it was under $100. I have used this product before, not the same exact product, but something similar. I believe it was an OTC brand. So I have been familiar with this tool for a while, but I didn't own one myself because I never thought that I was going to need it. It is constructed with some pretty strong steel. You can see that's not going to go anywhere. And it's pretty heavy duty. So they do come with 2 chains, and you loop the chain around the hooks, and then you attach it to your engine or the side of your transmission or whatever you're trying to keep in place. If you have a front-wheel drive vehicle where you're replacing one of the motor mounts and there isn't a support where you could put a jack underneath, you're able to use this to replace that motor mount, or even to drop the transmission, because majority of the time you have the engine going this way and you have the transaxle and transmission sitting on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and get this ready. I am not going to use these chains. You can use the chains, but I am going to use some straps. And the reason for using the straps is they're more forgiving when they're coming against components, and it's just easier to route and to strap down. So I'm going to be using these straps. These are rated for 500 pounds. Now, this engine only weighs 280 pounds. I think we're going to have more than enough holding power here. So this is how I'm using these straps. I am hooked up right here. I put the loops through this hook, the support. So I have strapped it around the motor mount down there. It's basically just hooked up to this hook. And now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Now the Miata does have these hooks, one here in the front, and there's another one back here hidden. Okay, I could have used those and that would have worked just fine. but I believe the best place so I could support this is down there where the motor mounts are, so I could keep everything stable. And yes, it does come with these chains and they do work, but I like to use the straps because, like I was saying, they're more forgiving, and if the strap rubs against the intake manifold, like right now how it is, it's not going to damage it. You could run into the situation where this could damage some of your components. You can use it, I've done it before, but I like to use the straps. It's a lot easier. So right here, I'm going to do the same exact thing. Okay, so I have both sides supported. You want to provide this with a little bit of tension, and you can adjust this. You could put some tension on here, just like this, just like I'm doing. And then we're gonna do the same thing to this side. You just have to make sure it doesn't spin on you. So now that everything is supported up here, I could safely remove the subframe and not get hurt while I'm working underneath the vehicle. And here is a look at what the straps look like underneath. You can see they're tucked into the motor mounts. They're going to be able to support all the weight when I remove the subframe from underneath here. Could I have done the job with just these blocks of wood? Yes, I could have, and I have done things like that in the past, but we're going to have to scrape so much of this off, and I'd rather not risk it. I mean, this device is very cheap. The tool was very cheap. It's not even worth risking it. If this block of wood that I have set up here was to go left or right, this thing is going to come crashing down, and it's not going to be fun. And this pan, since it goes into the transmission, this goes around the bell housing on the transmission. You need to go from underneath and take it all the way to the top when you're installing it. And it requires RTV all around the top. So you have to drop the subframe to be able to install this properly without running into any complications. I have in the past tried to finesse oil pans in between objects, and a lot of the times you mess up the RTV and you end up having to start all over again. I'd rather have a clean install so I don't have any leaks. So there you guys have it. I just wanted to make a quick video just in case anyone out there ran into this situation. This is a great solution. This is a great tool. I have used them in the past. I never owned one until now, and this is going to be used many, many times in this channel. I did purchase a couple of other tools, and I'm going to be dropping those videos pretty soon. I'm going to be showing you exactly what I got. Here's a quick peek on the tool that I got. So I got this to be able to look inside the pan in underneath the vehicle. Stay tuned for that video because we ran into a complication, and this is something you're not going to want to miss. I also did purchase this key duplicator, and it works very well. It lets you cut Honda keys, and with this adapter I am able to cut Nissan keys as well. So stay tuned for that video. That's coming up soon. I had so many keys for all these cars and I only had one key, so I decided, hey, just pick one of these things up so I'm able to just cut whatever key I need. And also, you guys all know that all the modern vehicles, you have to program them, and I have this programmer. I used this on the project for the G37 when I swapped the BCM. I had to program the key, and I never made a review on it. I never showed you guys how to use it. So this is a brand new tool for me. I've had it now for about a year, but I'm gonna program some keys, I'm gonna cut some keys, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. This thing is amazing. I really, really love this thing. And also right here, I have an air jack that I have ordered and I haven't assembled. Stay tuned for that video. That's going to be coming out very soon. So lots of videos, lots of projects, lots of how-tos coming your way. So subscribe so you don't miss any of it. We'll see you in the next one.